thumbs up. Happy faces. Smile, Watson. I'd like to call this regular session meeting at 7:01 p.m. to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Romanek?
Here.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Here.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Here.
Commissioner Watson?
Here.
Commissioner Ranello?
Present.
I would like to invite Reverend Robinson up to give the invocation, followed by the salute of flag. Can we all please stand?
Evening, everybody. I'm Pastor Brian Robinson, Senior Pastor at First United Methodist Church, and I also happen to be the moderator for the Ministers' Fellowship here in Millville as well, and it's truly always an honor to be able to do the invocation for the opening of the commission meetings. Would you join me in prayer? Almighty God, we give you thanks and praise for all your mighty works. You are loving and good and gracious. Thank you for creating us and sustaining us day by day. Thank you that you made us in your image to exist in community with other people. We thank you, Lord, for this beloved city of Millville of ours. We thank you for our elected officials, for the businesses, for the churches, the families, and the individuals that make our city the great place it is. Lord, thank you for civil government. Those who establish and enforce our laws do so for the protection of our citizens and guests. I pray that our civil servants would acknowledge this calling and perform it faithfully. Be with our judges and attorneys and law enforcement. Grant that they would never neglect or abuse their authority, but that they would stand firm and for truth and for justice. Keep them safe from harm as they serve our community. Lord, we thank you for the dedication of our first responders, like Jacob Parent, who have answered the call to serve this city in safe times and in dangerous times. I pray for this commission meeting tonight, Lord. Give the commissioners wisdom and guidance as they deliberate on the items before them. May every decision be righteous in your sight, for our benefit and for your glory. In Christ's name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975. Was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor. We had three. We had the addition of resolution number 7, approving fiscal year 2024 annual action plan for CDBG and home grants. We had the addition of resolution number 8, urging the State Attorney General's office to issue new and more effective guidelines on reckless operation of all-terrain vehicles and dirt bikes on public roads. And item 3 was the addition of a motion to authorize the proposed schedule for the City of Millville's wastewater treatment plant third clarifier addition project.
Thank you. Presentations.
We just have the ceremonial swearing in for new firefighter Jacob Parent.
Can I make a speech?
Sure can.
No.
Take your time.
No, I just want to say a few words. It's a great night for the city of Millville, for the fire department, and for Jake and his family. About 2 years ago, I stood over there and made a presentation at a work session talking about staffing in the fire department. I had some goals and objectives that I wanted to meet as far as it went to staffing. And after that meeting, there were some follow-up meetings. Director Hewitt, Public Safety, the Vice Mayor came to the firehouse. We had to sit down. Some of the union were there, and we talked about the needs of the fire department. And I was told, be patient, we're going to get there. And we're there. What I asked for that night, we've gotten. We've hired the additional staff. So with the addition of Jake tonight, takes our full-time staffing to 18, which is the goal that I had. So I'm very happy, and I want to thank Director Hewitt, Vice Mayor Sui, and the rest of the City Commission for making that happen. Thanks for letting me make that presentation, hearing what I had to say, and then making it happen. So, thanks. Just a little bit more before I talk about Jake. So yeah, it takes our staffing to 18. As you know, we're a combination fire department. We've had to increase our full-time staff because of the decline in volunteers, which is nationwide. But I still have a great core of volunteers. Many of them are here tonight also. While the number's small, they're very dedicated, and the community owes them a lot of appreciation and thanks for the hard work that they give to the city for free. So I want to make sure everybody remembers that. Also, we have volunteers, and they're an integral part of the fire department. All right, so enough. So for the main man here, Jake Parent. Jake is not a stranger to the fire department or to public safety. I know it's a touchy subject, but we'll just, you can deal with that. Jake came to us 5 years ago as a volunteer, so he's already trained. He's been to the fire academy. He's got all the requisite training, and he's been running with us as a volunteer. So that's great, so he's able to slide right in. After coming to us as a volunteer, Jake was hired as a Millville police officer, and he's been serving Millville and its community for 2 years as a police officer. But the opportunity came up. We were increasing our staffing. We had a position. He was next on the civil service list, and thanks to the director, Chief Hoffman from the police department, who was very cooperative, we were able to make this happen. So I know the PD is going to miss you, but we're certainly glad to have you come on board with the fire department. So that's enough for me. This is a ceremonial swearing in. He's been working for 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
So he had his official swearing in with a lot of family and everything here on his first day of work. But we wanted to do one here so we could make sure the whole community knew what was going on. So I'll turn it over to the clerk.
Raise your right hand. Sure.
It's not my first time.
Raise your hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jacob Parent,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of firefighter
of firefighter
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Well done.
Thank you. Just thank you for this opportunity.
There's a microphone. You can use it. It's okay.
Okay, just like the demo stuff.
No, just thank you for the opportunity. I promise I'll be staying here for hopefully the next 30 years.
You don't get away yet, bud. Seems like me and the chief are both the same way. We don't write anything down. Sometimes in my detriment. Jake, you know there was a lot of discussion back and forth.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure you were sure of what you were doing. You were dedicated to the police department. You're still dedicated to the police department. You're dedicated, and we're dedicated to the fire department. I am confident, with knowing you since I've been in office, seeing you work in both departments, that you are the one. You will fill out one of the things that I ran on, is increasing public safety. I don't know how many years it's been, if it ever has been, that you were at 5 paid firefighters per shift.
No, this is the goal we wanted to get to.
We're there. We're there, folks. Now it's time to work on the police department. The rescue squad is already there. Rescue squad is fully staffed, if I'm correct, right, Chief? It is this commission's job to now continue the work that they have done, and I thank this commission for what they have done. I thank Commissioner Suey for when he came over to the firehouse and agreed to let us have this. Now it's time to carry on and work on the police department. We know we all have work to do in the police department. Jake, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Make a motion, we pay the bills.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to pay the bills of the city of Millville, New Jersey. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
yes,
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Make a motion to approve and to dispense with the reading of the following minutes and to proceed with the regular order of business. June 5th, 2024 work session, June 5th, 2024 regular meeting, June 18th, 2024 work session, June 18th, 2024 regular meeting.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second on the minutes. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
yes,
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have now reached the public comment on agenda items only. If you would like to address this commission, please come up to the podium, state your name, address, and please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes. Thank you.
Patricia Kears, 409 Peach Drive. I have a question or comment on Resolution 21-1 for the fencing at the end of the Airworks Street. Is there any reason that we don't reach out to local companies for this? And there was fencing that was used around the demolition site of the barracks. It was an emergency demolition. And I wondered if that fencing could be used in place of a $30,500 fencing, especially in light of the two other basins, drainage basins at the airport. One is over on Bogdan by the soccer field, and the other one is where Deltronics used to be. I don't know who's there now. And neither one of those have fencing around them. So I just wondered why we need a fence around this one. And then my next question is under new business. What is that about exactly? Because I don't understand what it's about. It's to authorize a proposed schedule.
Do you want me to explain that, Vice Mayor?
It's
which
22-3.
It's the add-on.
It's
New
the add-on,
Yeah.
22-3.
Last one.
correct,
That's the wastewater treatment
yeah.
clarifier.
So it's a motion, it's pretty self-explanatory, the schedule for the wastewater treatment plant. The bids will be coming back, and we have to award the bids and all that stuff. So it's just to do with the scheduling of the project.
Okay, this doesn't have anything to do with the sewer clarifier, or is that,
That's the same thing. Wastewater treatment and sewer are the same thing.
it's the same thing? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kears.
Carol Costabone, Newcomb Town Road, Millville. Just have a question on Resolution 21.6. The board and secure and cut and clean services for the city of Millville. Is that for the abandoned homes?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Costabone, you're asking about Resolution
21.6? Yes.
Yeah, yes, that's for board and secure, correct, and cut and clean, yes.
Okay. Then do we turn around and bill the property owners to get reimbursed?
Yes,
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
yeah.
Seeing no one else, I will close the public comment on agenda items only. Petition and letters.
We have none, Mayor.
Reports of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt.
Yes. First, I'd like to make a motion to receive and file the EMS, fire, and police department reports for the month of June of 2024.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second. Sorry. Hot weather. But we have a motion and a second to receive and file the EMS, fire, and police reports for the month of June. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Motion carries.
My comments. I'd like to thank the departments, police and fire. Busy last week, the heat, everything else. A lot of activities going on last week. As you all know, we had the county fair, which was very successful. I was out there some of the nights. No unruliness like we've seen, thanks majorly to the new sheriff. We had sheriffs out there from Bridgeton, sheriffs from other counties. We had officers out there. Bridgeton had officers, Vineland had officers. I don't know of anything that went wrong at the fair this year. Yes, it was cooking. I got to thank my EMS squad the night of the Derby. Due to the heat and a little bit of libations, I guess is the best way to put it. The crew that was there to assist in anything that happened in the demolition derby was needed for a resident that had an issue up in the grandstands. It was handled, it was cleared, we cleared the way up into the stands and everything else. All the residents were cooperative. Great job. Millville Fire Department and EMS, along with the police. Our police department was right on top of it, the guys we had out there. Getting people moved and getting the lady down to where she can get in some air, and they got her recuperated. PAL fishing started last week for anybody that has kids up to 17 years old. It's free. It's sponsored by Millville PAL. We will be fishing this week on Thursday at the dock right across the street in Buck Park. 9 o'clock till noon or so. Millville PD and PAL supplies all supplies, fishing poles, bait. We are there to bait hooks, help unhook fish, teach the kids how to fish, along with our community policing unit, which is very active. That right now, until we move along with the agenda, will be it. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hewitt. Commissioner Watson.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, we met with the ACUA. We just started talking about concerns, and obviously the bulk waste pickup has been an ongoing concern. Was happy to meet with them. They're great to work with, and it was because of the relationship that our recycling coordinator and our streets and roads department, they put in a great effort to make sure that they do everything they can, to hear the needs of the ACUA, and this time the ACUA heard the needs of us. So I'm kind of pleased to announce that the ACUA has decided to take back bulk waste pickup, but it's going to change a little bit. Instead of the 2 items per week, it's going to be 1 item per week, but it's going to be on your regular scheduled trash day. So thank you to the ACUA, and thank you to everybody involved that sat around that table, including Brock, Joe Couchy, recycling coordinator Chris Finch, and our department head Wayne Gressman. For the report, streets and roads, mid-July 2024, catch basin repair on Mulberry Street parking lot is complete. The road repair in front of 2421 Holly Drive was complete. The entrance to Union Lake, or the old boat ramp at the end of Canal Street, has been stoned and graded. Some of the roads in Laurel Lake have been stoned, and the brush hog is currently out there cutting. The brush hog has completed the industrial park and will return again before the summer. The Vector is out now cleaning store basins, currently in the 10th Street area. The dead tree that fell by High and Broad has been cut up and hauled away. The dead tree that fell on Park Avenue has been hauled away. Streets and roads are currently working on having a fence installed around the Airworks Street retention pond for safety and to keep animals and people out. Children were seen in that area. Streets and roads wanted to make sure they take the correct action to prevent any children getting hurt. As of August 5th, the ACUA will be back to picking up bulk waste every week on your trash day. The Streets and Roads Department will do their last pickup the last full week of August, so it's the 22nd to the 26th. And if anybody has any questions or concerns, please reach out to Streets and roads at 856, 825, 7000, extension 7388. The reason why we're still doing one more pickup past the date that ACUA is taking over is because we still have some people scheduled for that week. We didn't want to do any interruptions. We want to make sure it's taken care of. So thank you to my department. Thank you to our recycling coordinator. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Commissioner Ranella.
Yes, on Thursday, the 4th of July, we had our annual 4th of July celebration at Union Lake Park. It was a great turnout. We had a lot of vendors there selling a lot of interesting things. They looked like that they did very well, selling items to the children. The children were playing with all of these items. It seemed that everybody was happy. We had a pie eating contest, and the winner, a second year in a row, Billy Willis. Peyton Riggins won the 7 and under watermelon eating contest, and Jace Piccolo won the 8 to 12 watermelon eating contest. It was really exciting. Everybody had watermelon all over their face, the kids. The adults had pie all over their face. Some of those pictures were seen on our new Facebook page. They really kind of captured the moment there. What else? We had our first Play Streets last week. It was an amazing turnout. A lot of the camps showed up with kids. This week, I'd like to point out that tomorrow, Play Streets has been canceled this week. It's been canceled because of the heat index. It's supposed to be hotter on this day than it has been since 2012. So we don't need anybody having heat stroke. For the safety of the children and everybody out there, our police department, everybody out under the tents. We just want to make sure that everybody stays safe. So it'll proceed again next Wednesday. I believe that's the 24th. Upcoming events. We have Christmas in July discount program. It's a great way to support our businesses, our downtown businesses. It's going to be running throughout all of July. We have 14 businesses that are currently signed up with a discount. If you stop by any of these participating businesses, you can make a purchase, you can enter into a raffle. The program's going to take place for the entire month, all the way to the end of July. So as I mentioned with Play Streets, it's going to take place for the next 5 weeks, with the exception of tomorrow. It is located on Pine Street between 2nd and 3rd Street, and it takes place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They have tons of fun activities for the children. Bring your kids in their swimsuits. They open the fire hydrants every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Sometimes they do it a little earlier, depending on how hot it is. We also have a Fourth Friday coming up again on Friday, July 26th. If you haven't attended one, I encourage everyone to attend. It's a great turnout. A lot of families show up. It's a good time. If you have any questions on any of these events, we encourage you to contact the Millville Recreation Department, 856-825-7000, extension 7394. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Ranella. Vice Mayor Sui.
Yes, first I'd like to make a motion to receive and file the tax collector's report for the month of June.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second to receive and file the tax collector's report for the month of June of this year. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
I just want to give a little update on the wastewater treatment plant upgrade to third clarifier. So engineering has the anticipated bid advertisement date is 7/26. The anticipated pre-bid meeting is 8/27. The bid opening date is 9/24. The contract award date is 11/19. The newspapers and trade journals where the ad will appear for the Daily Journal and the Atlantic City Press. So you asked, there's the answer. And with that, progress.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. It's only been 2 weeks since the last meeting, but yet it seems like it's been 4. I totally forgot about 4th of July. It was since last meeting. So thank you, Commissioner Ranello. There has been a lot happening. First off, we have zoning board on August 1st at 6 p.m. here. And then following on the 12th of August, planning board will take place at 6:30. 4th of July was great. Great crowd. I was there to deliver opening remarks to welcome everybody there. Not many people there at 6 o'clock, right? You know, it was nice and warm. But it did start to flow in. I went back to my family's picnic and then came back right before fireworks presentation. At that point, around 8:30, it was every bit of, hundreds of people. It was great to see the whole community go out there. I don't think there was any problems with anybody. I didn't ask questions, but I would have probably heard from Commissioner Hewitt or somebody. Believed everybody was well behaved. It was nice to see. My only complaint was I did have a watch on, and the fireworks did start 5 minutes early. I'm sure if anybody else was tentative enough, but they started at 8:55. Just a side note for Parks Department.
Rain was forecast.
The following week, the fair was open from the 9th to the 13th at the Cumberland County Fairgrounds. The opening ceremony was on the 10th. I was there to give opening remarks. Even though it's Cumberland County Fairgrounds, it's still in the city of Millville, all the way out by where I live. It was a great turnout on Wednesday. Wednesday was fireworks. They moved fireworks apparently around all the time for that date because on Friday is barrel racing and they don't like to scare the horses. I asked a simple question, isn't that why sugar cubes are made? But I got no response, so went down the wrong trail. Derby night, it was jam-packed. I didn't go, but I saw all the cars. I would like to thank whoever was driving the fire truck that went by my house. The air horn works, and I jumped as high as my cat did when they went by my house and gave a nice big honk. But that's what I get for zoning out on a Saturday afternoon and reading all the news that has happened since then. Moving on to the 5th floor department, we have a new taco in place, which is Miss Rita Henry. TACO stands for the Technical Assistant to the Construction Official. Miss Rita has been hired and began work on the 10th of this month. A new housing inspector trainee, Mr. Trevor Spadato, has been hired and began to work on the 8th. Code enforcement will have a training with our software company on Wednesday the 17th. And a reminder, we have been talking about this for months, but state mandated lead inspections deadline is approaching. The inspections are required by the 21st of this month for any rental units built prior to 1978. I believe most, if all, have been inspected and paperwork has been returned, but if not, here's your warning. Other than that, I don't think any other events has happened, even though it's, like I said, it's only been 2 weeks. But if not, I will remember, and that's what the end of the meeting's for. Ordinances in the second reading.
Okay, we have done.
Ordinances in the first.
Okay, so we have an ordinance amending the salary ordinance to the following administration title and compensation. Deputy Municipal Clerk with a minimum of $40,000 and a maximum of $65,000.
Move the ordinance on first reading.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on ordinance in the first reading, item number 1. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 2 is an ordinance amending Millville Code, Chapter 60, Stormwater Management and Pollution Control, Article 1, Stormwater Management Regulations, Section 1 through 13, to reflect amendments to the stormwater management rules at NJCA, it should be NJAC, 7:8, adopted July 17, 2023.
Move the ordinance on first reading.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on ordinance in the first reading, item number 2. Any comments?
Yes, this is just to keep our regulations up to date with the state.
Excellent. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Consent agenda items.
Okay, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the Board of Commissioners and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a governing body member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 1 is a resolution authorizing the insertion of an additional item of revenue in the calendar year 2024 budget, which is now available from the State of New Jersey Department of Children and Family, passed through the County of Cumberland Prosecutor's Office in the amount of $10,000. Item 2 is a resolution authorizing the insertion of an additional item of revenue in the calendar year 2024 budget, which is now available from the state of New Jersey in the form of the National Opioid Settlement Grant for Janssen Payment Number 4 in the amount of $26,075.20. Item 3 is a resolution authorizing adjustments in the tax and utility records.
Make a motion to approve all consent agenda items.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve all consent agenda items. Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Resolutions.
Okay, item 1 is a resolution authorizing the ratification award of an emergency contract to supply and install fencing at end of Airwork Street Stormwater Basin with all vinyl fencing for a total not to exceed of $30,500.
Make a motion?
Second motion.
So we have certification of funds.
I don't have it, do I? Sorry.
Got certification.
I do, I'm sorry, they were stuck together. Make a motion, certification of funds from our Chief Financial Officer, Susan Quinones, the amount of $30,500.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 1. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 2 is a resolution authorizing a shared services agreement between the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office and the City of Millville, City of Bridgeton, and City of Vineland regarding the Police Youth Trust Initiative Program for a term commencing June 25th, 2024 through August 31st, 2024, contingent on grant terms and funding availability.
Make motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 2. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 3 is a resolution authorizing approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the project entitled MA 2025 Geisinger Avenue Roadway Improvement 00458.
Move the resolution.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 3. Any comments?
Yes, this is, we applied for municipal aid grant for $748,809 to the DOT, so that we engineering tried to pick a road that served a lot of residents in town, and as you all know, there's a lot of traffic that goes between Broad Street and Main Street through Geisinger, so that's one of the reasons this road was picked.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 4 is a resolution revising the existing and unused tax sale depository funds account to be known as the HRA account difference card solely for the employee health copay claims.
Move the resolution.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 4. Any comments?
Yes, we're just renaming the account here, but that difference card, what that basically allows us to get our insurance premiums cheaper through the state. And while through the state program the copays go up, the employees get a card to pay their copays. So in essence, their copays go to zero. The city picks up the cost for that, but it's still cheaper doing it that way than leaving their copays alone. So that's an example of the city working with the employees and working with the unions. So that was a little bit of a process, and all the unions agreed to it, so that was a good thing.
Correct. I'm glad to see this getting through. I've known about this for a long time, and it is a change, but it's a good change, and it is a change that helps the city and as well as our employees of the city. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 5 is a resolution rescinding resolution number 81-2024 and approving newly revised solid waste and recyclable rules and regulations.
Make a motion on resolution item number 5.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 5. Any comments?
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner watson.
As I can probably say for a lot of residents that are watching and listening or will know eventually. Thank you, Commissioner Watson, and to all those that helped.
Yeah, if I may. So yeah, and that was a team effort. Mr. Watson's department, Brock, Mr. Kelsey, leading the negotiations this time. And his business experience was instrumental in accomplishing this task. And it brings me to another point. There's been a lot of criticism for hiring people with management positions that don't have municipal experience. So in many instances in this city, those in management have extensive municipal management experience, such as your department head that was involved in this, Mr. Gressman, and no business experience. In other cases, some folks have only municipal experience and no management experience and get promoted into management positions. But it's important to have a balance of all three of these. And this type of negotiation and your success in doing it, I think, is an example of that, of why we need a mix of not only municipal people, but also business people involved as our department heads and administrative positions. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 6 is a resolution approving an extension to the fair and open contract with Millville Glass for another year from July 6, 2024 to July 5, 2025, and an estimated open-ended amount not to exceed $50,000 to continue to furnish the city of Millville with board and secure and cut and clean services.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
With that, I have certification of funds. That's all right. For a chief financial officer, Susan Quinones, in the amount of $50,000.
Now second motion.
We for sure have a motion and second. Motion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 7 is a resolution approving the fiscal year 2024 annual action plan for the Community Development Block Grant and Home Program funding.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 7. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. And resolution number 8 is a resolution urging the State Attorney General's office to issue new and more effective guidelines to address a growing public safety peril by authorizing a crackdown against the illegal and often reckless operation of all-terrain vehicles and dirt bikes on public roads.
Make motion?
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 8. Any comments?
Yes.
This is the thoughts of myself and my chief of the police department. The police department is aware of the ongoing ATV and off-road motorcycle issues within the city of Millville and throughout the state. We have adopted a city ordinance that does not allow for filling of ATVs and dirt bikes at gas stations. They are driven under their own power, along with the ability to seize and dispose of these ATVs if deemed necessary. This has curbed some riders, but not all. Due to the continued issues and the limited ability of police to pursue the offenders, a letter was drafted by the city's attorney to the director of the Division of Criminal Justice, expressing concerns with the current legislation and seeking revision. We now await a response. Until then, we will continue to explore ways to safely deter and identify those who ride illegally on the streets and cause a hazard. This is our only choice. We are concerned about this. I know from the people I talk to, they see what our police department does. Call people. People, pick up the phone and call. If you see ATVs, you do not have to give a name. Call dispatch. We review the cameras. Tickets are issued. Hopefully we'll get an answer from this. City Solicitor, do you have anything you want to add?
I'd like to add that one of the things that prompted this was the city received a letter from the Division of Criminal Justice, in essence from the Attorney General's office, addressing this issue because it's finally come to the attention of the state that there's a problem. And I think everybody that drives in Millville knows that there's a problem because we've all encountered people on ATVs, I know I have, motorcycles, and frequently they come in the wrong lane of travel. They go through traffic lights, they go through stop signs, and they're a traffic hazard. So the solution offered, and it was more than just a letter, there were guidelines issued by the Attorney General's office, and the guidelines basically are for the police to issue motor vehicle summonses to these operators of these ATVs and motorcycles. And these summonses that they suggest we issue, they only provide for a minimum fine and at worst community service. So I don't think that that's going to solve anything. There are laws on the books that could be enforced. For example, there's a criminal law. When you elude a police officer and you're in a motor vehicle and there's a clear signal to stop and you leave, you can be charged with a second or third degree crime. I think, and we discussed this with some of the other commissioners, certainly Commissioner Hewitt, that it's almost analogous to the situation in New Jersey 20 or 30 years ago with drunk driving, where drunk driving was really out of hand. And it really took a concerted effort by the Attorney General's office, the prosecutor's office, to crack down on drunk driving and to make sure that the charges were not downgraded to, relatively minor motor vehicle charges, and that, people would, if you drove and you were drunk and you were caught, you'd lose your license. So I think there needs to be a similar effort made now, and it's really got to start at the top. And so since we got a letter from the Attorney General proposing new guidelines, we thought that was an opportunity to respond and say, well, thank you for being interested in this, but we don't think it's enough. This isn't going to... one of the other things the Attorney General recommends is that these motorcycles be forfeited, but the problem with that is we found when we recover these motorcycles, frequently they're stolen. So, forfeiting them isn't going to really solve that problem. So it's a major problem. I think there needs to be concerted effort by the Attorney General's office, the prosecutor's office, county prosecutor, municipal prosecutor, and all the way down the line to the police department.
Thank you, Brock.
Thank you, everyone. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
New business.
Okay, just need a motion to authorize the city clerk to advertise for bids for the following projects: third-party billing for emergency medical services, lease of space for cellular antenna system located at 416 Orange Street, Millville, New Jersey.
Make the motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on new business item number 1. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. So need a motion to authorize the following social affair permit: Millville Elks Lodge number 580 Chicken Barbecue at the Elks Lodge on September 8, 2024, from 12 to 5.
Make motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on new business item number 2. Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. And item 3 is a motion to authorize the proposed schedule for the City of Millville wastewater treatment plant third secondary clarifier addition project.
Make the motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on new business item number 3. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanello?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
We have now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address, your concerns, and please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Good evening, Tim Carty, Millville. I sat there and I watched the work session meeting. And for starters, you want to talk about poor morale and employees? I worked for a municipality that had an old building. And I tell you right now, I hated going to that job every day because of the building I was working in. You don't think your employees aren't going to feel low morale going into a 150-year-old building that's block and concrete and probably hasn't had anything updated in it? And if you're saying the morale, you wouldn't have a low morale going into that building, I'll call you a liar right to your face because I went through it. You want to talk about another morale being low? You have firefighters, your police department, and your police supervisors right now have been working without a contract since December of 2023 with no talks. Talk about low morale. That's another reason for low morale. What about the employees that are contracts are running out this year? Another reason for low morale. So you're going to put them employees in a 150-year-old building with no pay raises, no contract talks or anything. You know what? Low morale. How many other cities are going out spending $1.7 million on a building that's over 100 years old? I'll tell you, none. None. And I'm hearing we're going to make a $4 million profit off 15th Street. You ain't making that, because our own city engineer stated 2 or 3 meetings ago it's going to need a new roof in a few years, and he's estimating $1 million right now. I hear about infrastructure. The money's going to go for infrastructure. This commission just voted down cannabis sales, which under the state of New Jersey you can collect a 2% tax on, which you can reinvest in your infrastructure. So don't play that we're going to give it to infrastructure. Why hasn't an outside engineering firm looked at the gem building? Why? You have an engineer that's contracted with the city, that gets paid by the city, that probably will listen so he can get his contract renewed again. Why don't we spend the money and get a professional engineer that has no connections to the city or none of its employees? Then it will be unbiased. My question is, what type of business is going in this warehouse on 15th Street? Anybody know? Okay, since nobody don't want to answer that question, how's it going to affect the streets and roads department of what's going in there? How do we know it's not going to become a hazardous waste or hold chemicals that will affect the other employees across the roadway from them? Anybody thought about that? No. What about Columbia Avenue? Anybody checked it for asbestos? I looked at the pictures online from Realtor.com, and some of the beams look like they were a little wet at one point in time. How about electrical updates, fire code updates, anything like that? Any of that done? That's more money. So your $4 million you're banking on is probably down to $1 million when it's all said and done. If this contract isn't signed, why are we even looking at buy the building? You keep the building you have. It's already being utilized by the police department for the command vehicle. It's being utilized for everything else. And your firefighters are using it for training. What are you going to do with their training? So now you're telling me you can sit up there and pat yourself on the back about public safety, but you're not giving our firefighters a place to train, which could save anybody's life. It's bad enough you don't give them guys contracts, but yet you're going to take away a place for them to train. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. We want to talk about roads. The city of Vineland did a bond in their last budget to do roads. City of Vineland's building a brand new fire headquarters. Beautiful. Here we are, we're buying a 150-year-old building for $1.7 million. And then I hear a plan. Yeah, the plan was to buy the building from a friend of mine that I knew, that he took it off the market the day after we put 15th Street up. Don't understand that one either. I mean, I'm not no detective, but things ain't lining up. But I tell you, morale in this city's low with the employees, and the morale's low with the residents. I don't understand it. If the contract ain't signed, you sit back and you reevaluate your situation. Bottom line. Honestly, if I was an employee, I'd rather go in a brand new building and feel a little bit of pride. As a resident, I see the brand new football field out there. And I know I shouldn't bring this up because I'll probably get yelled at when I get home. But I ride by that field a lot, and that gives me pride to be a Millville resident.
Thank you, Mr. Cardy.
Our employees deserve the best, just like everybody else in this city. That's the bottom line. And I tell you right now, you vote whatever time you're ending your own political career. Thank you.
Roy Shepard, Newcomb Town Road, Millville. I have a couple questions that I asked in the work session also. Where are we at with the sale of 15th Street? What is our time frame on that? where are we at with buying or relocating to another property? Has this commission gave it any thought into having an industrial commission? As we continue to get involved in these real estate transactions, at one time there was an industrial commission that the city had, and they were probably some of the top business owners in this city, and they voluntarily gave their time to voice their opinions, and you had a group of pretty knowledgeable people that were on this board. I think with a lot of this real estate that's going on, you know, I look at this blue building down here on the river. I see it's listed for $2 million now. I think that's a lot more than what we sold it for. You look at the bank building. You look at Airworks out at the airport. I think a lot of these decisions, I think if we could generate better ideas and better thoughts, I think we could give the police department, the fire department, the raises that they want, or, you know, give them the opportunity to stay here. You know, I look at the open employment off the 5th floor, and people are just dropping like flies. Is it a hostile work environment? Probably. Is it the money? Probably. I think we can manage our way around doing different stuff to generate more money. I think there's options, but we have to do it. Is everything going to be set in the way we want it to be? Probably not, just because that's life. So I think a industrial commission would be a good idea. You know, it costs people no time. You know, people would come and voice their opinions before we go and do this stuff. I'm hoping to have many more years in this community. I mean, in this community, we have 3 family businesses that operate here. If I didn't have kids that are coming up through here, I probably wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't care. I'd just move on. So I think like something like an industrial commission or a likewise board would help the city. Just having feelers out there. Everybody has their own agenda and everybody has their own thoughts. But I think we could generate better income or you know, different ways around different things. Because it seems like a lot of these hot topics, when it gets to the end of the topic, it's just a big can of worms because everybody, you know, they're going 50 different ways. So with that, thank you.
Let me address the industrial commission.
Go ahead.
So the industrial commission was dissolved by the last administration. I served on the industrial commission before the last administration dissolved it. When we took office again, I contacted many of those members, and they didn't want to do it again. Many of them had hard feelings about the industrial commission being dissolved, and they simply weren't interested or didn't have the time. So we did look at that. The other stuff, some of the stuff I'll address in my closing arguments.
Don Carty, Millville. Good evening, Commissioners. I know there's 5 of you there. Here's our solicitor here. One question. Is that final paper signed on 15th Street? And I know I'm not getting an answer, but that's okay. Mr. Mayor, 2 meetings ago, they came here against the asphalt plant. You sat there, quote, "We listened to the people of Millville. We voted no," quote, unquote. I expect you this time to listen to the people of Millville and vote no. You said it. It's in the record. It's on TV. Go look at it. I listened to the people of Millville. Listen again. Open your ears. Vote no.
Good evening, Angeline Broomhall, Millville. Before I begin, I want to remind everyone, my name is Angeline Broomhall. It is not Kimberly Hand. It is not Megan Sue Horseman or anything else like that. And it's getting to the point of being libelous by some current commissioners of making comments, and a resident who has gone so far as to Oprah my private records, or, well, it's not private because what I Oprah, I always put my name to. So you laugh because you know what I'm talking about. Exactly. I put my name to every Oprah. So let's just say I stand here, and I have since long before any of you were here. Before any of you were here, I've stood at this podium and always put my name to everything I have to say. Next, the gem building. Mr. Suey, you are the commissioner that came in here with a lot of trust. You're the one with the experience. And the other commissioners looked at you with trust and believed that you were going to guide them in the right way. I watched them vote after vote, and I warned them you were leading them down the wrong road. And they didn't listen, but they trusted you. And now, and you benefited from that trust. But now,
How did I benefit from that?
because you got everything you wanted. You got the bank sold to your friend. You got Wheaton's sold, which is being sold back to the public for millions of dollars. You gave them a 15-year abatement, or rather pilot. You got the commission to agree to that in 40 minutes. You got the commission to agree to borrow 2.5 in a bond, which at least Commissioner Hewitt questioned and made sure that we wouldn't use that to buy another building. It was just in case. You convinced them, you said to this commission, minus Ms. Ranello, that the bond could be used to build, buy, or lease. But meanwhile, you knew the whole time you were going to buy this building. You said it on the record. He is conning you. He is conning you, other commissioners.
That's good, you know. If she's going to attack me personally, I'm going to fire back, and it ain't going to be.
You can fire back when you're done. You are more than welcome to. And
Ms.
I'm not.
Broomall, please. use
No.
delicate
I
words.
have every right to.
No,
I
you
have
don't.
every right to say what I have to say because
Point
these
of
are
order.
facts.
She does not have the right to insult anybody.
Oh, is it insulting the facts that I'm saying? Is it insulting the facts that I'm claiming?
Insulting, you're lying, and it's insulting.
But it's okay to extend the time on somebody else that's attacking another department?
Well, why don't you make the point of order? You're up here.
Ms. Commissioners, please. Ms. Broomall, please continue.
What I'm saying are facts. It is a fact that the commission was told when they voted for that bond that this would be used for, quote, a purchase, a lease, or to build a new property. But in the meantime, on record, we have you saying, Mr. Suey, that this was your plan the whole time. I also have screenshots of the owner of that building saying, my friend, Mr. Suey, my friend Joe Suey this, my friend Joe Suey that. So we know, and I didn't want to bring his name in it because, heck, you want to give me 1.7, I'm taking it. So I got nothing against the owner. You want to buy my property that was built in 1890 for 1.7? Deuces, Millville. So I have nothing against him. But we do know, it is well known, it is documented in writing that there is a relationship there. I have found no records or permits showing of any major repairs. I do know that as a kid growing up, I went to school in a trailer. Teachers worked in trailers. Is it the most comfortable experience? No. Is it awful? No. And for the long-term future, to look at something so short in the long-term history, like in 100 years, will a new building be there? Yeah. Will this building be there, the gem building? No. And if it is, it'll be a falling down, dangerous hovel. If you cannot provide equal or better, then don't sell 15th Street. I also would like to know if you guys can look into the records. In 2014, 10 years ago,
Ms. Broomall, please.
we took a bond to pay for 15th Street. Has that bond even been paid off? $2.5 million.
May I address that?
Wait for
Okay.
closing comment.
Now, let me go now. Just the bond. Just the bond. So the bond part was for the office space at 15th Street, not for the warehouse. That has not been paid off. So you know that. That was totally for the office space and the additional garages built, which are not being sold. The other stuff I'll address at the end.
Seeing no one else, I will close the public comment portion on the agenda. Closing of public comment portion of this meeting. Closing comments of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight and staying for the meeting. I want to thank everybody for coming to the swearing in of Jake Parent. Tim, you've been to our police department, our fire department. You know you're welcome there just like any other resident in this city. Because without our fire department, without them staying trained, as in also our police department, we don't have a city. I don't care what anybody says. It's not the Wild West. We don't get to police ourselves. I'm looking at my notes, so just bear with me here. You know, most people know that know me, where I stand on public safety. I was called a fool for saying I wanted public safety if I got elected to my seat. I'm not a fool. We're making headway. I don't sit here and brag about it, but people see it. Thanks for your comments, Tim. Roy, going back to the campaign, I met you during the campaign when we set up our tent over on your side of town that we set up all through this town. And if you remember, there's only 2 of us here that campaigned. Ben campaigned, but Ben ran his own campaign. We got to meet Ben later on towards the end. Kudos to him because he ran a great campaign. And look where he is. You were there that day. I met you that day. Everybody thinks I know everybody that might speak for me or whatever. I met you folks from standing at that podium as a resident. I met you campaigning. Every time I set up the tent, those of us that were campaigning, we talked about the Industrial Commission, bring it back to life. And yes, a lot of people have given up. But we need that. We do need that. Thank you for your comments. Don, I can't answer whether it's signed or not. I'm sorry. Angel. Point on. Now I'm going to finish with this that's probably going to rattle some cages. I spent years at that microphone. I learned a lot. And I learned a lot from some people that are here today, and I'm glad you're here. And I learned a lot from some people that are not here today. I've lost some friends. I've made some enemies, evidently. I love it when people give me a salute riding down Rick Avenue. Makes me smile. I'll leave that there. That microphone belongs to everybody in this city. It's time to not just come back tonight. It's time to continue to come back. And it's time to ask questions. Not all the time, but it's time to ask questions. Question me. Question us all. That's why we're here. Reach out. I'll talk to anybody. People here know that. And with that, progress. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Hewitt. Commissioner Watson.
For the firefighter, Jacob Parent, congratulations on your position. Stay safe. Glad to see that the firefighters are where they need to be. There's a lot of things I would like to say, but the first thing, I just wanted to apologize for releasing the frustration. It wasn't civil and it wasn't professional. But I'm pretty sure everybody here knows I'm pretty new, inexperienced a little bit, and it takes a lot longer time to dig into things. I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious, how things are. And I sit up here and I see like jabs thrown back and forth between commissioners, and it's so unprofessional. I don't like it, and that's why I try not to partake manners so much. I would really love to say. but I'm gonna refrain, I guess. The gym building, I still don't think it's a good idea at all. I believe in, trying this route, giving departments new buildings, just because it's functional and it works. How to get there, like I said, I'm inexperienced, so I need the help, and that's why the presentations were purposely made to try to get the support and the help from the people that do have experience. So that's where I am with it. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Commissioner Ranello.
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and getting your voices heard. It's very important. Just want to acknowledge something that Commissioner Watson had just said. This is often a very messy process. If you think this is a messy process, I encourage you to go back and look at many of the other previous commissions because that was just wow. There's a lot to consider. I wish that there were more options available, and I've been encouraging the public by all means to contact the commissioners. I don't think anybody up here, I can only speak for myself, I guess, is really sold on anything. I'm welcoming feedback. I want to hear you guys, but as I conveyed earlier, I am not okay with leaving people in any department displaced and then hoping that things come to fruition. And if they don't, by the end of, I'm only guaranteed to be here till November. I have no idea who's going to sit in this seat and which way they're going to vote. And it seems like a real roll of the dice for me to potentially leave that vote to somebody else to do the right thing if we displace our departments. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ranello. Vice Mayor Suey.
Yeah, first of all, we had a party today for Laura Burns, our assistant clerk that's retiring. A very nice conversation with Laura today for about 45 minutes. She's 38 years. Great employee. Hate to see her go. I understand she got invited to a swim party, but really hate to see her go. She'll be here till the end of the week. Second, there were a lot of fallacies spoken tonight. First of all, I understand a lot of folks don't pay attention until the end of something comes near. But we agreed to sell 15th Street approximately a year and a half ago. Approximately, I don't know, 8 months, a year ago, I asked my fellow commissioners to start looking into alternatives of where to move 15th Street. It should have been no surprise to any of them that that place would have had to be found, built, leased, or whatever. Mr. Watson did research. Mr. Ranello has done research. I've done research. And we came up with what we came up with. Now, Ms. Broomhole, you told me once before that I would be in jail for one of the votes I made. Well, I'm still here. I'm not indicted. I don't know if you filed a complaint or not. I wasn't investigated. And if you think I'm doing something wrong, I urge you to file a complaint. I am confident that I am doing nothing illegal or immoral. Now, I'll address some of the other fallacies. To say that we're not in contract negotiations is false. We've been in contract negotiations for months. So that's nonsense. Total nonsense. Let's see, what else did I write here? So, it's just so much nonsense this week. I did see a couple posts about there being a pocket resolution being proposed tonight, whatever the heck that is. So I don't know who gave you guys that rumor, but maybe you might want to question their integrity and their credibility, because that obviously didn't happen. So I don't know who told you guys that was happening, but it didn't. You know, one character up here reminded me of my favorite character in South Park, in episode 101, which is Cartman. So that kind of amused me a little bit. And also, you know, I have two favorite senators, because there was so much baloney here tonight. two favorite senators. One of them is Senator Kennedy of Louisiana, and one of them is Senator Fetterman of Pennsylvania. And I like them because of the way they state things. So first, when it has to do, they're from opposite ends of the political spectrum. And I find them both refreshingly funny. One's very eloquent and humorous, and the other one is direct and to the point. So I'm sure if Senator Kennedy were listening to this meeting tonight, he would say this is a prime example of bovine scatology. Now you guys can figure that out. Senator Fetterman, I will abbreviate that to say BS. So you guys can Oprah whatever you want. You can certainly contact me. I'm more than happy to talk to any of you. I've met several of you. I've met several of you in this building that have had questions, and I've taken them to engineering. I've showed them reports. I've showed them more than they wanted to know. And I'm happy to do that with any member of the public. So that's all I have for tonight before I say something else I should.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Millville is strong of 27,000 residents. I continually write that in everything that I have to give out to the community, such as the Greater Millville Chamber of Commerce, to news articles and such. The public that is here tonight has an opinion, as well as all the other public people here. Just because it's a public meeting and I make a comment I say I respect and I am with the public. Yes, I get out and about. I go to places here in the community. I just got an email in between sessions. It's Third Friday coming up. The RRIC would like to see me out there for the art walk. Looks like I'll be going to do the art walk and saying hi to Diane at the RRCA. I'm very involved. I listen to people that don't want to complain to me because they know the position I have, and I might want to break from it. I don't want to break from it, but I don't like to hear it all the time. That's why we have vacations. Even not in government or municipality sanctions, people in regular work like to take vacations to get away from the job that they possibly truly love. I support cannabis 100%. It is 2% gross tax to the municipality. I've never once voted against cannabis. Do I not want retail downtown High Street? Yes, I don't want retail, but fortunately, the city of Millville does not allow retail anywhere. The 5th floor does not have a hostile work environment. I'm pretty sure Sean Fry does an excellent job. He might get a little hot because he has very big windows in his office, and we joked about it today. Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anybody expects of you. Never excuse yourself. Henry Ward Breacher. When all is lost, ask the IRS. They'll find something. Douglas Horton. I thank each and every one of you that came here tonight and stayed. Yeah, a lot of times when we have these big swearing-ins or presentations, the public comes, sees that you here that come to the meetings repeatedly, come to stay, listen, ask questions, engage peacefully with humility. We welcome that. We like to see more. There's how many ever seats in here, whatever the occupancy of this room is. 140. That'd be a lot. But it's welcome. This is a public meeting. We invite the public to come out. There's a way we can work all together with one. You might not like me, don't have to agree with me. It's okay. I'll still listen to you. I'm here for the public, for the city of Millville. We all are. All of my commissioners are, with ears wide open. That's why we all vote. And we do have a big election coming up. We have one seat open. I support Commissioner Ranella. She's doing a very good job. I ask you all, you have a very good night. Stay cool in the weather. Drink plenty of fluids and hydrate. God bless America. God bless the state of New Jersey. And God bless the city of Millville. Can I have a motion to adjourn?